Okay, you're gonna have to ignore my hair. I'm just gonna like clip it back. This is the thing when you have really thick hair. So I'm gonna be doing a neutral look because I asked on Instagram what everyone, oh my god, wanted to see. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Please ignore my eye base. It's really light because my face is a bit tanned, but you can't really tell. So I'm just gonna pat the remaining concealer down on my eyelid. I'm just patting that down with my MAC 252 flat brush. And I'm just getting rid of the creases, if there is any. Just going to show you the products I've already used. I'm not going to ramble on about them because I talk about them all the time. So I used the Dip Brow by ABH in chocolate, and then I used the Tarte Shape Tape as my eye base. So for my first transition shade, I'm going to be taking the shade The New by Illamasqua. And this is just like this sort of like neutral tone. It's quite warm. It's very similar to MAC Uninterrupted. And I'm just going to be pushing my brush down into my socket. I'm just applying as much pressure as possible, so then we get as much colour payoff from the eyeshadow. I see some people's tutorials and they just like explain what they're doing quickly. But I've noticed with mine I have to like just give you like a brief description of what I'm doing, because when I watch a makeup tutorial, I don't know, I just find it's helpful because some people might wonder like what the hell I'm doing. So as you can see, I've applied a lot of colour all over my eye. This is just going to be like your typical like brown smoky eye probably. And what I do, I just tend to keep it in that area. I don't like to like bring it out any further than that. So when I blend it, I'm really like gentle with it, because I like to keep this like white sort of base we've got going on. Please ignore this spot by my lip. To blend it more, I'm taking a Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush, which is clean, and I just blend the edges out. So I don't blend like the rest of the shadow, I'm just blending the edges. And if you find you have too much product on your brush from like blending, then just wipe it on the back of your hand. That's what I do all the time. You'll just see the edges are now like a little bit like softer. It probably looks a bit harsher in camera because like the ring light makes it so harsh. I'm moving on to my Morphe 35 9A palette. I would have used this like a minute ago, but I just wanted to use that Illamasqua shade just to change it up a bit. I'm going to be taking a shade I've never used before from this palette. I'm going to be taking this one on the end here. I'm just taking that on that clean Zoeva brush that we just used. So I'm just applying that shade. I'm just pushing that onto my eyelid. I'm just going to blend into the crease. And this edge here probably looks like really unblended, but I'm going to blend it down with the shadow that we put underneath the eye. I'm then just going back to that Morphe brush that we applied the transition shade with, and I'm just blending those edges. I'm just going to drag that out a bit because obviously we will be meeting it with like the lower part. Now I'm going to be taking this dark brown, and I'm just taking that on that same brush. And again, I'm just pushing that onto my eyelid. And I'm just taking that up into the crease again. What I love about like brown smoky eyes is that you can wear them like in the daytime. I'm tapping off any excess, blend in the crease. Looks a bit messy, so I'm grabbing my Illamasqua shade and just running that at the top, just so you can see it like almost peek through. That's the top of the eyes done, I feel like. But I feel like I don't want it to just be a brown smoky eye, but I've done so many cut creases. I'm going to do like a little half cut crease. So I'm going to set the cut crease with a white shadow. You can take any shadow you want. I've just got this Too Faced palette, and the only like matte white shadow I have left is the shade Extra Creamy, PB&J, this one here. So I'm just grabbing some of my concealer, just taking that on a little MAC 242 brush. So I'm just going to do like a little bit in here in the middle, and then I'm just going to set that with that white shadow. So I'm just taking this Anastasia brush from the palettes that you get with it, and it's just got this flat side, and I'll just take the white shade and I'm just literally going to pack that over that. you can see like the sun. Now I'm done that, I'm just going to go over the edges and go over that white a bit, blend it in. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply some eyeliner, and then I've got an idea to do a bit of eyeliner like almost in the crease, like just above, and I've got this one that Rimmel and like Influencer sent me, and it's the Rimmel London Ink Me liner, and it's the gold one, but I'm just going to apply some black liner first. Right, so I've got my eyeliner. You'll be able to see the sun coming through my curtain. It's very rare that we get the sun in England. Right, so just applying my eyeliner. I'm just going to apply a plain black line. I'm not going to be doing a wing today. Now I've applied my eyeliner, I'm just going to do like the rest of my face makeup. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move on to my primer. So I'm going to be taking 2 primers. So I've got my Makeup Forever Step 1 Radiant Primer, and then I've got my Marc Jacobs Invisible Primer. So I'm going to start off by just taking some of the Invisible Primer. Got loads of this left, and it's really nice if your skin's really dry. And then I'm just going to add some of the Makeup Forever one. This comes out like a blue colour, so you have to be sure to like push this one into your skin. Okay, so that's my primers applied onto my skin. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply my foundation. So I've got 2 of my Wet n Wild foundations. So I've got the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in Classic Beige and Golden Beige. Golden Beige is the shade that matches me the best. It's more yellow tone, and then this is a bit more like pinky, but we're going to make it work. I've got my Studio Fix by MAC, and then I'm going to like mix them all. I'm going to apply the bit of the pinky one because I've got like loads of this, because obviously it's like the wrong colour. And I'm going to apply this like around the centre of my face. I've got a few spots that I just want to cover, so I'm going to use the pinky one to like do that. And then I've got a brand new beauty blender, and I'm just going to push that into my skin. As you can see, it's covered like that really well. I'm then going to take some of Golden Beige, and I'm just going to like dot this all around my face because I've literally got like none left. Okay, there's literally like nothing coming out of this. What I have got out of it, I'm just going to push into my skin. That's so annoying. I'm just going to have to use my MAC Studio Fix fluid. Okay, I've just used the MAC one. You'll see a big difference in like the colour. This one matches me better. I was just sort of testing the Wet n Wild one to see like how it wears on my skin, because your skin changes a lot, you can like fall in and out of love with how like a foundation looks on your skin. It did look quite cakey, that foundation, the Wet n Wild one on my chin. So it's funny how like you can like love a product at one point and then like the next minute you can have like a different opinion. Okay, that went well cakey around my nose. My ISO was like, okay, now I feel like that's too dark. Okay, I feel like when I put my foundation on that my whole face like loses dimension. For concealer, I'm going to be using one I haven't used in a while, and it's the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. Mine's in Neutralizer. This is one I picked up the other year in America, and it was a backup. I haven't used this concealer in such a long time. I used to like it, but I preferred this shade to all the other shades they do. So you just twist it. I know it takes ages to get out. Hallelujah. Right, this is more of a yellow tone, that's why I like it. It's better colour for me than my Tarte Shape Tape at the moment, because my Tarte Shape Tape is just like white, even though I prefer the formula. This is a little bit like of a lighter consistency though on my under eyes, because my eyes do get quite dry and I don't have an eye cream at the moment. So this will work quite well. Just putting a bit there. Grabbing my beauty blender. I've been using a brush to put my concealer in recently, but I'm just going to use my beauty blender today. I find the beauty blender is so much easier than the Real Techniques sponge. It's so much like thinner and like not as bulky. I do really like the Real Techniques one, but this one's quite good that you can just like pinch it down like when you need to get it in a corner and along like the lash line. I find the other one quite like bulky and you like stab yourself in the eye. I just decided to set my face off of camera, like my under eyes and that, because I sound like an old broken record, because I just used my trusty Coty S1 loose face powder, my go-to powder. I'm now just going to bronze my skin. I'm actually going to use some of the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion bronzer, and I'm going to bronze my face up a bit with this. Mine's in 30M, if you're wondering. It's one of like the darker shades. I think it means like 30 medium something. I will say though, I'm really disappointed with that Wet n Wild foundation. It's made me look really cakey. And then just going to go over with some of my NYC Smooth Skin bronzer. This is in Sunny, just to turn me up a bit. I always use like the Makeup Forever one like, as a base when I'm doing bronzer. I don't usually use it as like just on its own. I'd only use it on its own if I was going for more of a natural sort of bronzer. Say if I was just doing like beachy makeup. Now I'm going to move on to my blusher. For my blusher, I'm just taking my Eco Tools blusher brush and I'm taking this little Too Faced brush that we used in the previous video. This is called Love Flush Baby Love, and I'm just popping a bit here and on the other side. As I said in my previous video, although it's like a nude blush, it comes like this really nice, almost like a light peachy pink. And I don't normally tend to go for like pink, but it's quite nice. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to go back onto the eyes. I'm just going to do the under eye and then I'll sort of know what I want to do on the top. I'm grabbing my Morphe palette and I'm just taking the shade we first used, this brown here. I'm running that underneath my eye, as close to the lash line as I can get it. One thing I will say is that concealer has creased really badly underneath my eye. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, and it looks really cakey around this area, but I never ever get that with my Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm just going to lightly buff those edges out. The main thing also, I use some Beauty Blender, and normally that wouldn't happen with like concealers like that. Anyway, I'm then going to take this brown and I'm going to run that along as close to the lash line as I can get it. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is on a Morphe M506 brush. Should have put some powder down. And then on the top, I'm just going to like almost help smudge into that white, just so it doesn't look so like perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do now, taking my Illamasqua shadow again, this one called Vernau, V-E-R-N-A-U, and I'm just going to be taking that on my Morphe fluffy brush, and I'm just going to be taking that underneath those shadows just to blend them out. Just like push it on top of the shadow and like drag it along so it's all like smoky. Okay, I can't decide if I want to add this gold liner or not. I feel like it would make a pop to the look. I'm going to apply my lashes. So I'm going to add some mascara to my eyelashes. The eyelashes I applied were the Sosu ones in New York. I always use the Sosu ones now because they're affordable, they look great, and yeah, they don't break the bank, and they're not mink. I don't really like the thought of using mink, obviously because they come from an animal, and you know, just think that's horrible to, you know, just don't like see why people use mink lashes really when there's so many other alternatives. Another thing I want to ask is if any of you have had individual eyelash extensions, please can you let me know, because I want to get some for my holiday. My mum and I, we want to go get ours done, but we're not like sure, like, well, I'm not sure because I don't know, like I love wearing false eyelashes and I probably will like do my makeup on holiday, but probably just save me a lot of time in the mornings. How do you maintain them and all that stuff? Do they pull out your other, like your own eyelashes? Because I've heard like horror stories about things like that. If you could let me know in the comments like what you reckon about things like that. I reckon I'm just going to apply a bit of glitter. So I'm going to take this Collection 2000 this glitter thing. I'm going to wipe off any excess on this side of the thing. I'm going to put that. Okay, I think that is quite sweet. I'm going to add some highlighter. Oh my god, need these so badly. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild one I got last year. This is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder and this is the Precious Petals one. And this is really affordable. That's why I'm using it, because I know I use a lot of high-end makeup. Let me know if you'd like me to use like more affordable products. But, oh, that's really good. That's actually really, really stunning. Stunning. Oh yeah, I actually like. I don't remember it being that good when I last used it. If you can get your hands on this, I definitely would, because I think you can even get Wet n Wild in the UK now. I think like some pharmacies do it or something. I could be wrong, but I'm sure they do. I think like especially in Ireland. Look at that. New fave highlighter. Now what I'm going to do is move on to my lips. For my lips I'm using MAC Strip Down just as like, just to line my lips basically. Because I like to line my lips like every look I do. I just find it helps as well, especially if you've got like foundation on. Find your lips can get lost in your face, especially when they're small, like mine. I was going through all my nude lipsticks today and I was trying to find something like different. So far I found Beeper by Colourpop. I used to wear this all the time. I'm thinking of like gonna lean towards this. I just wanted to wear something like different. I've then just got this Marc Jacobs lip gloss and this is in Skin Deep. Okay, so that's the makeup done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to spray, because the makeup looked a bit cakey. Oh, you're always going to see like a smoothie in the background. Oh my god, my hair's such... I brushed it and look, I get these random like bits. I'm going to spray some of my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. And I'm just going to spray this because the makeup's a bit cakey, like round here, thanks to the Wet n Wild foundation. So I'm just going to spray some of this. Oh, smells oranges. I'm gonna get a big bottle of this in America this time. That is the finished makeup look. I did go over and add a bit more concealer on my lid and add a bit more of the white because I felt like it was like gone a bit weird when I put this down. This is the Collection Glam Crystals Dazzling Gel Liner and this is in the shade Funk Free, just to let you know. I really like this lip colour. I really like it instead of just going for a normal plain nude like I'd normally do. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next makeup tutorial vlog video, whatever you'd like to see from me. And if you'd like to see any certain like videos when I'm over in Florida, please let me know. As I've said in a couple of videos now, but I really need some ideas from you guys because obviously I have some ideas, but obviously you are the ones that watch my videos. So yeah, it really helps me to know what you want to see. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. So take care, bye.